places, I'm like, have they done anything for the earth? I say it sounds so harsh when I say that, but that's a real mindset that people struggle with, even if they don't realize it, because we're taught about, Napoleon, the great general, Alexander, the great general, Caesar, the great emperor and general, the conquerors of the world. And the only others you might hear listed are going to be like Genghis Khan, who invaded into Europe. You don't hear anything about African culture when that is the breadbasket of the world. That's where it started. You're telling me that in thousands of years, nothing came from Africa? Nothing? That they invented fire and bows and that was it? They've been stuck with spears and mud huts ever since? They've never been able to come with a technological breakthrough? That's bullcrap. And excuse my language, but I'm sorry, that's bull. And I'm sorry that that's how it has become. And I think it goes back to what I just so passionately said about 20 minutes ago. The church has had that answer for so long. The church was thriving in Africa long before it ever thrived in Europe. The fact that people just they can't comprehend, especially my white friends, the fact that I tell them, you won't believe how wide-eyed people get, how my black brothers and sisters get when I tell them, you don't even understand the fact that you had God before my ancestors even understood that there was one God. Because all of Europe was polytheistic for almost as long as you can remember. Yet Africa, in the Middle East, had the understanding that there was one God and his name was Jehovah. Long before my ancestors even realized this. But that's been wiped away in history. And that's part of the problem that we face now is, and I say that because I want people to hear this. I want them to understand it's these little things that we've done that will then allow them to say, wow, now I understand. Now I can go meet with that person and say, look, I'm sorry. Here's what I can provide to let you regain your identity. I should have given myself more than an hour for this segment because I could talk about this all night. I feel like people need to hear it because they've refused to hear it because they just take their source from news and from their friends' Facebook posts and from Twitter highlights, and that's just not what it is. It's so much more than that. Yeah. Yeah, I'm up for that, man, and I want to do whatever I can to further this, not because, and any of my white listeners, please understand this, none of anything that I'm saying makes you less of who you are. Nothing. The fact that I just believe that it's Brian's right to know about the great Mali Empire. Nobody knows what that is. Never heard of it, I bet. That was a West African empire that was very rich in about the 13 and 1400s. I know that sounds irrelevant, but when you're taught about the great Holy Roman Empire, and I all support the church, but when you're taught about the same version in Europe, you should also understand and know about the same thing in Africa because, like I said, this is the root of the problem. The fact that the brother across from me does not know who he is, how can he expect to follow me in what I'm trying to teach him? If he doesn't even know who he is, how can I take him to another level? I can't. It's not possible. You can't just go to the second floor. There has to be a stairway there. And this is the stairway. This is the stairway to understanding that we've been lacking. And people need to hear this for as long as it takes. Like I said, it's heartbreaking for me for several reasons. For one, because I'm forced to look in the mirror and admit that I'm a part of this. And second, because black culture has become a part of it because they've been hurt for so long. I remember after the Alton Sterling shooting, I reached out to several black ministers wanting to find a way to organize some type of like unity march or unity coming together where white church and black church could stand in solidarity. And please hear me. I'm not angry at any of them, but I got no response. Every single one of them read the message. Technology now lets me know they all read it. So they felt my heart, but they refused to answer it. I don't blame them for that. I understand that there's a struggle there. There's an understanding there. I know several other churches like me did the same thing and got shut down. That only drives me to work harder, because I believe it's this mindset and this move of the church that I pray is happening in other parts of the country and that I'm trying to sprout here in Louisiana that is going to fix this issue. It's the only thing I can think of that will. It's the only thing I believe in my heart of hearts that will. So that's why I'm so adamant about it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, I tell people like this, especially any of my friends who I know are racist, and I say, look, you're going to let a substance as simple as melanin, which basically any of my black listeners are immediately know what that is, and white listeners probably not. Some might actually get a laugh out of that because it is kind of funny why they don't know. But you're going to let something as simple as that compound keep you from what could possibly be something that you need in your life. What if, and I use God example because everybody knows I'm a big believer, what if you're praying for an answer? Maybe you're praying for like something financial to come in your life, like a new job, or you're actually praying for some type of healing in your life, and maybe the money or the dealer or the job or the doctor that God wanted to send to you was black, or in your case was white, but you were hesitant to go to them, or you didn't, or you refused completely because of something that simple. And you missed out on the answer to your long thought of and long drawn out prayers for something so silly. And I try to use that example because that's what it comes down to. I mean, are you really going to give up a free car because of the paint job? If somebody right now came up to you and offered you, hey, I'll give you this Phantom, brand new, right now, you can take it home, but it's turquoise, and turquoise is the color you hate the most. You going to turn down that Phantom? I don't think so. You going to take the keys and say, bye, Felicia? Are you really going to let that impact your life? And I'm going to stop because we're already about 10 minutes past. Like I said, I could talk about this out of my heart all night, but don't, if you listen today and you listen tonight or you listen as a podcast, don't let that be you. Listen to us this Saturday on Shots Fired. I promise it's going to be a different form of Shots Fired, man. I doubt he's ever had anything like that, but we're going to hit this, and we're going to hit it hard. And we're going to hit it, I'm going to hit it as much as I have to the point of either one or two things happen. Either one, nobody listens ever again, and then I'll just be telling it to myself, and I'm fine with that. I'll shout it as long as I got to. Or two, I start seeing change and things start happening. And I don't care who you are. You could be a NFL football player or some 16-year-old thug from the hood who needs to get saved in Jesus and wants to see that your family has something better, and you want to learn who you are, whoever you are. I want to stand with you. All right, well, let's close it out. Everybody who's listening tonight, we thank you. We appreciate it. I will say, if you tuned in a little bit late and missed some of the Saints Falcons talk, we will have that back at the first half of the show, spilling over a little bit into the second half of the show. This podcast is listenable, downloadable on everything. You can go to saintsnewsradio.com. You can go to my personal Twitch page, which is twitch.tv/Deuce is loose. That's with a Z. Easiest way, though, is to go to Saints News. They are your go-to source for everything. They have shows on Tuesday night like we're doing tonight. They got shows on Wednesday night, Friday night, during the halftime of the game and post-game on Sundays. There's news up to date that you are going to need as part of your Who Dat life. It's how it is. Then you've got Brian right here, Brian Bienemy, who does Shots Fired. I mean, we've got a lot of information to give to you. All you got to do is tune in and listen. So like I said, Saints News Radio is the best place to go to get this right here. Or if you want to listen to the live shows or check us out, we do this from a program called Spreaker. Spreaker. You can also check us out there. Brian, how about you give everybody listening how to follow you and how to listen to your podcast, and then we'll close it on out. Yeah. And look, you can follow me at Rev Deuce Windham on Twitter. That's RevDeucewindham. I, of course, post links to all the podcasts as they host. I will definitely be sharing this one for sure. I will give you cut-ins for where you need it. That way, if you just want to listen to Saints, you can. But I encourage you, listen to the second half of this show. Spread the second half of this show, not to hear my voice, but to hear the message that me and Brian have to give, because it is needed. I want to bless all y'all tonight. I pray that the Lord blesses and keeps you, makes his face to shine upon you, and that he blesses and is gracious unto you. Thank you for listening, y'all. I will see y'all on Shots Fired this Saturday. Y'all have a blessed evening, blessed day, blessed morning. Y'all be good. Who dat?